Welcome to another race in the Hybrid Major Glitches tournament. This is another one of our round one races in brackets between Flipheal and vZakat. This is the first match between them, and this will be a best of three. My name is Crobble. I'm here with you for comms, joined by my friend Trey Spire. How are you doing, Trey?
I'm good, Crobble. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, and very excited to see this race today. These are two very experienced runners. I know vZakat has been pretty active in the overworld glitches and hybrid major glitches races very over the last several months. Whereas Flipheal, I think, is a little more of a recent joined the glitch community a little more recently, but yeah, both of them joined for all the qualifiers and are now here in brackets. So yeah, very excited to see this race today, and it should be getting started in just a few seconds.
Indeed. So, I guess while we're waiting for the kickoff to go, what does hybrid major glitches entail?
All right, hybrid major glitches is a relatively new mode that you can see in chat. There's the text explanation, but the beginning of a hybrid major glitches seed is very, very similar to overworld glitches. So a whole bunch of clips and teleports and various shenanigans on the overworld are what you'll be seeing for the first half hour or so of the race, which is always very fun to see. What makes hybrid major glitches unique is that clips between dungeons in the underworld are also legal and potentially required by logic. So that enables a whole lot of new fun. The Misery Mire and Tower of Hera and Swamp Palace kind of become one mega dungeon, and routing between them becomes quite the brain teaser. And looks like we're off.
Indeed, and we're already getting an early map check on Zakat's side. 2 pendants and a crystal over in Desert Palace. So we're gonna see a lot of Dark World dungeons today.
Yeah, that's always fun and kind of increases the chances of the Misery Mire and Swamp Palace shenanigans being required. So it looks like we have 2 different openers here. Flipheal is going for the early hobo check with a slightly difficult clip, but looks like he's pulled it off correctly so far. It's there is a little bit of hard lock risk here, so he's kind of, or not hard lock, but very long soft lock. Yeah. This glitch, if you mess it up, there's a fairly large punishment, and it's usually faster to just console reset. Yeah, it looks like he's making his way through it, whereas Zakat went for kind of the other common over glitches opener, which is going to Sahasrahla. However, this is unusual. He's continuing on to Eastern Palace.
In the few of these I've seen a lot of people do what Flipheal's done and go straight to hobo and get that taken care of. And I've seen a few runners go to Sahad and then save and quit. I've never seen anyone go directly into Eastern Palace in the first 2 minutes of a seed.
Yeah, this is very unusual, and unless I missed something, I don't think he got a bow in Sahasrahla. So
no, there were 3 bombs, some money, and a shield, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so that's that's pretty interesting, and yeah, this has a very high potential to pay off if he gets something big here. Then it could take Flipheal a very long time to get back to it, but
ooh, nice hammer and sank.
All right. There's kind of major progression for sure. Oh, and the fact that it's pendant Eastern too is interesting. So Zakat is really, really isolating the any item on the boss here. But that'll yeah, that will definitely be interesting. I'll be curious to hear his thoughts or his thought process that went into this opener. Um, yeah, interesting.
So lots of money on his side as well, because I believe we've seen you saving and quitting before the big key chest.
Well, I wasn't keeping track. I wasn't keeping count of items, so I'm not sure if he found the map or compass that may have kind of informed that decision.
True. But lots of money already. Like we've already got our Zora funds for when we decide to head that way.
Yeah, in glitch modes, the routing in Houlihan is a whole lot easier than in non-glitch modes. So I don't think that's particularly significant. But yeah, nice and convenient at least. And now another one of the kind of decision points, or I guess common divergence points that will be coming up momentarily on Flipheal's side is the decision whether to continue into Kakariko and kind of potentially isolate items at Sick Kid and Magic Bat, or to go for an early mountain play. It's kind of one of the early game divergence points that can really that can potentially really shift the tides in a race. Looks like he's going for the Kakariko opener.
With the amount of bombs that we've already gotten, I don't see this as a bad decision. From my understanding, a lot of runners will like to go off the mountain so that they can hop back down to Graveyard Ledge as soon as possible to stock up on bombs.
Yeah,
but so far this season's been very generous in the explosives it's given us.
Yeah, with any boot start mode, that becomes a little less of a big deal because you can always pick up bombs from the bonk rocks right next to the fortune teller that Zakat's was just next to. But here's the divergence that I was talking about, where Zakat's decided to go up the mountain. He does have the hammer, which will make some things a little bit easier. I don't know. Spiral Cave on 3 hearts with a hammer still sounds pretty scary to me. We might see him put that off a little bit.
Or maybe he'll just brave it and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I think one thing that it's kind of rare, but it's always fun when you do get to see it, is if a runner's doing an early Death Mountain play like this and doesn't find anything that would make going to East Death Mountain particularly appealing, sometimes you'll see them just do the stuff on West Death Mountain and then do Zora DMA to clean up East Death Mountain later. It's not particularly common, but it's always quite the spectacle. I'm not sure if vZakat likes that play. Or if we'll kind of just see him do a slightly more, a second trip to Death Mountain to clean up East Death Mountain later.
Ooh, and a mushroom. We got a mushroom here in Hera.
A mushroom, and what was in that first chest or the first check?
Oh, it was the map.
Just the map. Okay, so there's our first sign that something is unusual here in hybrid major glitches with this particular item layout. Hera is logically blocked by access through Mire. So Hera Pot is not in logic. It's an allowed sequence break, of course. But the game's logic will assume that your only way to access the top of Hera is by clipping from the room right next to Mire cutscene chest. And yeah, with Mire probably we have full pendant crystal knowledge now because we got the green pendant check. Nice.
And if you didn't see, Flipheal there got the moon pearl already.
Ooh, I did miss that. That's nice. And
Just
so,
sitting there on desert ledge.
well, that's convenient, and um, you know, uh, it'll be good to keep an eye uh, on item counts in this desert clear to see whether Flipheal is isolating an item on Landmo, because that can potentially. I've definitely seen and participated in races that were decided by that.
I believe we saw some money on the torch.
On the
So there was,
torch, okay.
and this should be the big key in its vanilla location.
Okay.
So we might be leaving something on Lambda. Although we are going to have to come back eventually. It is a crystal. At this point, we just need. Can you get to the back? Can you get to Lambo without a glove in this mode?
Yes, you can. There's a clip that you just kind of hop up a wall and then hop down and jump right past the hook shot. Was that a hook
And
shot
a
and an
sword.
ice rod?
Hookshot and
A
sword.
sword. Okay, okay. So yes, you can get to the back of Desert Palace without a glove. The only problem is once you're in there, you can't get out. So runners usually put that off until after clearing the other locations around Desert Palace.
That's fair. That's fair. Paradox full of goodies. Zakat also got a bottle with a fairy in it and the lamp.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So, Flipheal doesn't have the option of finishing off Desert now because he doesn't have a fire source, but Zakat will have the option when he goes there. It'll be a pretty low percent clear if he does decide to go for it, but I said I was going to pay attention, and I didn't, so I'm not sure if there's an item on Landmo.
There is not. We got so there's 50. I think 50 rupees on the torch and 10 bombs in the big chest.
Okay, okay.
Don't worry, I got you covered.
Great, great. So, yeah, Zakat will probably not go for the slow, low percent Lambo clear here. Probably route that in later. And Flipheal with Zora Money and Moon Pearl is choosing to go to South Shore. This is pretty normal, routing, and because he has the Moon Pearl, he won't be facing the risk of going into Waterfall Cave and getting dunked by a fourth heart piece, which is always nice.
How about that bow? We're pulling all sorts of progression out early already.
Yeah, this is a pretty loaded light world. Oh, question in chat, did Flip skip K45? That is a good question. I believe he did. I didn't notice him go into it. He may have just gone straight from desert to Agina and then noped out.
Yep, that's what I saw happen. So I'm inclined to believe that is what happened.
Yeah, it's not the most common routing, but it's not the first time I've seen it in this tournament. One thing that's been really fun, one thing that I've really enjoyed seeing in this tournament so far is with how many new players in this tournament, or players new to the glitch community, you get to see a lot of routing that you didn't normally get to see in the weekly glitch races. So yeah, new plays like that are pretty exciting to see and consider. It's like, oh, maybe routing this in with Checkerboard Cave later on makes sense. Yeah, suboptimal routing, new exciting routing. It's it depends on your perspective.
Half of one, half a dozen of one, six of another, right? Something like that.
Yep. But that's one of the fun things about glitch modes is you really have a whole bunch of options for early game routing. Just the world is so open that yeah, there's just so much you can possibly do, and So we see Zakat here following in Flipheal's steps. Flipheal doing the South Shore checks. Flipheal probably goes to Death Mountain after this. I'm curious where Zakat will go after this.
Indeed.
Probably South Shore. Yeah,
say
just a little.
With the Moon Pearl and the Hammer, there's a lot of the Dark World open already, as far as I know, because we have multiple ways to get into the Dark World.
Yes, we do. And see, with a sword and hammer, I think Thieves Town is looking pretty good, but it is a pendant, so that's always an interesting decision in these modes. I imagine we'll probably see one or both of our runners explore that pretty early. All right, so let's see what's at Zora. Nothing on Zora Ledge.
Man, I was hoping. I love seeing runners just hop up to that item.
Nothing at Zora. Oh, choosing to get the slight refund though. All right, and I suspect Flipheal does a DMA to start exploring Death Mountain, and actually, did Zakat do anything on East Death Mountain? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He did.
Yes. He did spiral into
cleared out Paradox Cave. Okay.
Although I guess Zakat did not jump down to do either early King's Tomb or Graveyard Ledge. So those are still a mystery to us as well.
Yeah, I think you pretty often see runners try to link up Graveyard Ledge with try to link up those checks with something else if possible, because you can link up Graveyard Ledge with the Backup Escape if you have gloves, and you can link up King's Tomb, well, with not much, but I guess if you have Flute and or Mitts. Oh, so Flipheal left a sword in K45. That's a little unfortunate.
Yeah, just a little bit. I have some questions about what Flipheal just did, because I have never seen a Death Mountain ascent that did not take you through the old man cave.
I believe,
and suddenly we're in Hera.
Yes, I believe that was classic DMA. Check and correct me if I'm wrong. It's a Death Mountain ascent that I believe it's a little bit older than the ones that you usually see. Oh, chat's correcting me. I'm wrong. Was that squirrelless DMA? I usually see a slightly different setup for squirrelless DMA. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure which technique that was either. It's pretty unusual.
It was interesting, and I love every bit of it, to be honest.
Always fun to see new or potentially old and unfamiliar techniques. It's a little unfortunate that Flipheal missed that sword in K45, because it's going to make getting through Spiral Cave a little bit more difficult.
It's still manageable, but
yeah, with 5 hearts, it's not too bad. One play that was potentially open to Zakat, although let me see. Oh, Zakat doesn't have Mirror. Oh, he does have Moon Pearl though. Oh no, he didn't have Moon Pearl at the time. Okay. One thing that I suspect we might see from Flipheal after he clears Paradox Cave is we might see him continue up to the top of Turtle Rock and just teleport onto the top of Turtle Rock and activate the portal and clear out. Yeah, he'll have the Hook Shot and Moon Pearl. So he'll have the option of clearing out Super Bunny Cave and take a slightly fun route into Hookshot Cave, and then Catfish. That's pretty convenient. We'll see if he decides to do it. It does require a glitch to get into the back of Hookshot Cave, which some runners aren't familiar with. So I'm not sure if Flipheal's familiar with that one. We'll see. And with 5 hearts, this is not the scariest spiral cave. Not the easiest. Looks like he made it through.
5 hearts blue mail at that.
Oh, right. Ooh, don't die. It's a little scary. An overworld death here is kind of punishing.
So I was going to call you out on cursing him there.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like Flipheal was about to go through the other entrance of Paradox Cave, but doesn't have the mirror that would make that work, so corrected himself before heading up in there. Ah, that's a great pair of items to find in Paradox Cave.
It really is.
All right, so Zakat having a million things open to him now. My guess is that we'll see Zakat start to clear Dark World locations. Although with Hammer and Hookshot, the whole left side of GT is in logic, and that's a huge concentration of items. So that may be an appealing option as well. And nope, both things I guessed were wrong. Oh, I wonder where he's headed here, actually.
Oh. So if I had to guess, Flipheal went down, was trying to go to Graveyard Ledge there, but stopped too early?
So what... I didn't see the beginning of it, but what usually happens there is, and we saw it happen again there, Flipheal kind of dodged a little bit to the left before going into the corner, and doing that makes that trick very inconsistent. There's a subpixel dependency for that Graveyard Ledge clip, and if you hug the diagonal wall all the way down before moving into the corner, then it's perfectly consistent. But if you approach the corner from the right instead of hugging the diagonal, then you can get that subpixel inconsistency, which caused the trick to fail for Flipheal twice there.
Ah.
And we're about to see some more hybrid major glitches tech from Flipheal here. He's in the bottom of Paradox Cave, of Spectacle Rock, and just clip through a wall, and suddenly we're in pod.
Yeah, pod.
So this is, more things that you'll never see in lower glitch level modes than HMG. And by clipping into pod in cave state, Flipheal was given 255 small keys for free. So he was able to use one of those cave state small keys to open up that front door, and it just makes pod routing so much nicer. Meanwhile, Zakat did that routing that I was mentioning earlier, that I thought we were going to see from Flipheal actually, but that was doing Super Bunny Cave and then clipping into the back of Hookshot Cave in order to explore it without a glove,
Sword.
and is rewarded with a sword for his efforts. Oh man.
Lots of swords flying around today. Holy moly.
Yeah, so Flipheal here is looking at Crystal Pod on Fighter Sword 6 Hearts Blue Mail. This is a slightly scary clear, but with lamp, it's not too bad.
Yeah, definitely doable. I mean, if you consider the actual, uh, um, what is it? Restricted major glitches run for vanilla. This is beside the blue mail. This is basically the equipment you would have.
Hmm. Yeah, so this should probably be familiar territory for Flipheal. So both runners diverging significantly here and checking two different very high density item locations. Flipheal with a slightly difficult but full clearable crystal dungeon, and vZakat going for a much higher item density, but will probably not full clear Ganon's tower here. Maybe, I don't know.
It'll really depend upon where this big key is for one. Because if it's on the right side behind Samaria, we're not getting that anytime soon.
Yeah, we wouldn't see him full clear in that case, but if it's on the left side, which the odds are in favor of that, then he'll have the option. That's a somewhat scary climb, in my opinion.
Well, this one room had 3 small keys.
Interesting. So 3 small keys weren't... Yeah, 3 small keys very early does kind of open up the GT key logic quite a bit. Oh, chat's telling us that this is familiar territory for vZakat regarding the GT climb. So, yeah, maybe we'll see him do that in that case. So far, it doesn't look like much from either of these item dense locations.
Hey, we got a shovel. That could
Yep.
be something.
Yep. Flipheal with a slightly roundabout route through pod here. Was rewarded with the powder for his troubles. I wonder if he... I don't think he did Turtle Room or the Rupee Basement
Not yet, no.
before this. Interesting.
He decided with all of his small keys he wanted to hammer yump. And so
Okay.
we hammer yump.
Yeah, I wonder if that was just a mistrack. I wonder if he thought he had the big key at that point.
I think so, because he definitely tried to open the chest and got the lovely something's missing reminder text.
Yeah, you usually see that route taken more often when you do get an early big key. All right, let's see this Armos 2 from vZakat.
Very nicely done.
Yeah, very nice.
Oh, a vanilla big key. You love to see it.
All right, the climb is open, and he's not saving quitting out. So, well, no, you wouldn't save and quit out in this situation because you go pick up the big chest no matter what. But after getting the big chest, then he'll be faced with that decision. Tempered sword, 7 hearts. What's his safeties like? Oh, he has 4 bottles. I don't know what's in them, but
there's at least 1 blue potion, and I think 1 green potion.
Okay. So, yeah, not too surprising to see him take the climb here in that case.
It is something that does need to be done. This is still a defeat Ganon seed. You still have to kill Agatu to get into the pyramid to kill Ganon. So, I mean, it's just not everyone's gonna do GT as their first dungeon.
Yeah, perfectly normal seed with GT as the very first dungeon. Yep. Just glitch mode things. All right, and Flipheal handling resources well. Should be headed into a fairly safe Helmosaur fight right after this. And let's see how Gauntlet goes for vZakat. Oh, here's that speedrun experience from vZakat paying off. Just getting a clean Gauntlet execution. Very nice.
And a very nice Helmosaur fight from Flipheal.
Wow, that was. I don't think he missed a single hammer strike there. That was nicely done.
All right, it's one crystal down.
Yep. First crystal at 28 minutes. So where does Flipheal go now, I wonder? Actually, wouldn't be too surprised to see him go to actually follow through vZakat's footsteps here and go to Ganon's Tower in this circumstance.
Indeed, there's a pile of items, pile of checks and some nice things in here, I suppose. Oh, nope, we're going to Graveyard Pledge. Or, nope, I lied, we're going to the King's Tomb.
Yeah, I think when it's a 50-50 between Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb, you'll often see runners choose King's Tomb because they can route Graveyard Ledge in later with the backup escape. Oh, this Wizrobe room without a cane is the worst.
Yeah, 100%. 100% is terrible, and oh, it's so bad. But he handled it well. We're on to torches.
Yep, hopefully he doesn't get tagged by the fire bar and knocked off, but... handled that room nicely. Alright, and Flipheal here just teleporting onto the slope and then wiggling a little bit to climb up and cross this land bridge and head over to East Dark Death Mountain. Perfectly normal overworld glitches things.
Yep, perfectly normal.
Yeah, these are the checks that he could have done earlier, linking them up with Turtle Rock. Or linking them up with Paradox Cave. So he'll pick up his Master Sword here, assuming he does the Hookshot Cave clip that we saw from vZakat.
Bullhorn 2's down. That was quick. Wow!
Oh, the glove.
Wow! Alrighty.
Alright. So, GT overall, looks like GT didn't have much, and neither did Pod. So, that glove is interesting. It kind of makes Dark World access a little bit easier. You can easily do a bomb clip from the portal just north of Swamp Palace. And with Hammer, wouldn't even need to do the bomb clip. Could just do NMG.
It's like we have natural Dark World access.
And of course, it also opens up more of Ice Palace. Although you don't, even though it is possible to clip into Ice Palace, to clip past the first Freezor in this mode to get access to most of the chests in Ice Palace without Fire Rod and Bombos. You don't often see runners actually make that choice.
Right. I mean, that glove is still kind of useful because we do need it to actually beat Ice Palace.
Yes, that will be hard required for Go mode in this mode. Interesting. This looks like Flipheal is opening up the front of Turtle Rock. This is another slightly uncommon play. You sometimes see this from runners hedging their bets on not having the mirror. If you don't have the mirror and you partially clear Turtle Rock and then finish and walk out, well, there's a Fire Rod on on Pyramid Ledge. How did Zakat? Oh, he got right. He got there after the Agatu clear. Okay.
Yep. One casual ride on a duck, which he does not have the flute for yet.
Where is Zakat going now? I was expecting him to go to Hammerpeg Cave here. Is this a? Oh wait. Did he
Don't have
not
flippers
check?
yet.
Did he not check mushroom earlier? Or sorry, did he not check catfish earlier?
No, he did not. He went straight from Hookshot Cave right over to GT.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that does kind of isolate catfish, and he's taking care of that isolated check here. Unfortunately, it also really isolates Hammerpeg Cave, so it'll be hard for Zakat to make it back there. Oh, if Zakat gets the mirror, then it'll be easy enough to link up the Hammerpeg Cave with the front of escape. So, yeah, that makes sense. On with the fire rod. That's a, let's see, fire rod, hammer, gloves. Yeah, that's full clearable ice, right?
Oh, you're right. It is. That sounds gross, but it is.
Oh wait, no way to, well, no easy way to get in.
Yeah, but there is a way, I think. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. We also gain literacy from the back of escape.
Yeah, there's a red-green YBA to get in there, which is not too hard, but very uncommon to actually see. I don't know if I've ever actually seen someone do that in a race, and I have no idea if Zakat's familiar with it. But yes, that can never be required by this mode, so Ice Palace is not in logic, but yeah, that is an option available to him. Meanwhile, Flipheal picking up... Oh, I see. Flipheal linked up K45 with finishing off Desert. That makes sense. That route wouldn't make as much sense for Zakat because he got K45 earlier, but he does have the glove now, so he could link up Checkerboard Cave. And yes, just asking, did Zakat get the fire rod? I'm almost certain he did.
He did. It was on the pyramid.
Yeah.
Just chilling. Just 50 rupees chilling on the ether tablet. And Zakat's going to make his way into the Dark World to visit Pod.
Flipheal is using a variety of techniques to kill Lanmo there. I like that, kind of a hybrid between NMG Lanmo and some other stuff. That was fun.
The best Landmo fights are the ones you do not expect.
But yes, as we discussed earlier, both of our runners already got both items out of Desert, so that was a trip just for the crystal. All right, so where does Flipheal go now? I would imagine Flipheal would go into GT here. GT's like really high density for Flipheal at this point, and with the third sword, yeah. It's a lot more manageable.
Nope.
No, this is a super jump. Well, this is a not the fastest glitch, but it is very fun to see. Ooh, it looked like he might have been a pixel too far left. We'll see. I mean, it's looking good so far. Maybe I'm mistaken. Oh yeah, that was fine. Okay, so what we just saw from Flipheal was what's called Super Jump. It lets you jump from the top of Dark Death Mountain all the way to the bottom of Hyrule, and then just walk into Swamp Palace to fix your camera, and you're here. It's a very nice access. And because he doesn't have the glove, that is his fastest axis down here.
It's super fun to watch.
Yes, it is. It is very amusing.
Possibly the most important part of that whole thing.
Yep.
And
Right,
into
so-
the infamous hype cave with an ice rod. Well, we do need that, don't we?
Yes, we do. So, yeah, we've seen both rods. Zakat has the fire rod. Flipheal has the ice rod. So, yeah, as soon as we get Kane, we'll probably see them head to TR shortly. It's a very high item density location. Although without the mirror, it's always a bit of a a bit of a stressful kind of decision to head up there. The mirror uh, makes accessing it faster. It makes accessing TR faster, but also avoids isolating Mimic Cave. Clearing TR without the mirror. If you clear TR without the mirror, you're scared of Mimic Cave having progression for basically the rest of the seed.
So pretty much just like any other mode where you would isolate a location and just pray that it's not there.
Yep. Okay, and Zakat taking slightly more efficient routing through pod than we saw from Flipheal earlier. Going through these chests first instead of heading into Dark Maze immediately, but has to be a little careful on his health.
Yeah, I just glanced over and saw the half a heart.
Yeah.
I believe in Zakat, 100%. But I'm just from personal experience, I would be crying and twitching.
Yeah, I don't think we saw a potion usage from him, so if he gets scared, he'll probably they'll have that option available, I think. But yeah, clearly not scared yet. And that is a Quake for Misery Mire access, so...
Hey, we can go in.
Oh, Zakat is a fairy. Okay. Yeah, so Flipheal is faced with an interesting decision here. He can go into Mire, but he can't full clear it. It is a crystal. Looks like he's doing it. So if you're only used to watching non-glitch races, this may seem like a crazy play. Like, wow, why is he heading into Mire without the cane? But this play is a lot more attractive in hybrid major glitches because it also opens up a bunch of stuff in Hera and Swamp, which we'll almost certainly see shortly from Flipheal here. And let's see. Without the flippers, there's not much he can do in Swamp yet, but we'll probably see him clip into Swamp, use a Mire key on the Swamp front door, because that's something that he'll need to do eventually, and getting it out of the way here is not particularly uncommon. Zakat taking another death. That was deliberate because he doesn't have a mirror, so that was just for the death warp.
Although he did have a second fairies. Took a little more time than I'm sure he wanted.
Oh. Yep. Fairies are the worst before you get mirror. It seems like they slow you down twice as often as they actually save you. So Flipheal got a small key in one of those two chests, didn't see what was in the other.
I think it was a small key.
I think he only got one chest small key. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it's only one.
Yeah. And here's another thing that's slightly more common in HMG than in other modes. We're seeing Flipheal clear out cutscene chest without a fire rod, so it's even slower than usual. Which, you'll often see runners in other modes check every other chest they possibly can in Mire before cutscene chest, unless the other Firelock chest has a small key, of course. But the reason you see this slightly more often in hybrid major glitches is because getting this cutscene out of the way enables a slightly faster and easier method of clipping from Mire to Hera later on. So that kind of shifts the incentive, and there was an item here, so that paid off.
It definitely did. Although I'm pretty sure we're still going to see Flipheal finish this dungeon and check every other chest, even though we have both items.
Do we have both items?
Yes, we got 2 pieces of heart on the left side.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we are still looking for the big key, but the positions of the small keys is also important.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that we hadn't seen the big key yet. So, yeah, that makes a little more sense. Having an extra Mire key can be nice. You can kind of use one. You can use one in Hera. You can use the other in Swamp. You definitely want to save one for Swamp. You can get yourself in trouble by spending all your Mire keys in Mire and Hera.
Speaking of all of our Mire keys, we do have all 3 Mire keys.
Yeah. So now instead of seeing Flipheal save and quit out here, we're seeing him continue, and we will probably very shortly see him do a pretty cool looking clip from Mire to Hera. All right, so switching to bombs here. Because he did the cutscene chest, this is possible. Toss a bomb, hit, dash, clip, and ta-da, you're in Hera.
Yeah, Hera. So I definitely imagine that we will see. Oh right, I was about to ask why he was going up to fight Mobile in while he's in Mire, but you can get the item and not pick up the dungeon prize. Right? Or am I crazy? I'm assuming that's what he's doing.
Yeah, we'll probably see him pick up the item.
And then just leave that because you can't collect the dungeon prize for a dungeon you're not in. Or something like that.
You can. It's allowed, but it would have kicked him out of the dungeon, and he probably wants to spend one of his 4 Mire keys now on in Swamp. So if he were to pick up that prize, he would get kicked out of Hera. So
one of his 4 Mire smalls, but what about one of his 2 Mire bigs?
Yeah, we'll probably not see him use a Mire big because he does have the hook shot, so he could Hera pot. But we saw him spend one of them to open up Hera basement. That is now his. Well, that was his only way now because he got the Hera small when he was in Mire state. If he didn't open that and then he were to leave and come back, he would have no way to actually open up that door without clipping in again from Mire. So that kind of explains why we saw that.
Right. Meanwhile, we have another super exciting clip on Flipheal's side.
Yeah,
we gotta make our way into Swamp Palace somehow, and this is the way to do it.
Yep, Flipheal's doing a technique called Dash Citrus, which lets you sneak onto a particular pixel into the wall from which you can buffer a down left input and just teleport over to Swamp. I'm a little surprised to see him collect that small key. Maybe that was muscle memory. He has way more Swamp smalls than he actually needs here. So one interesting situation that Flipheal's in here, and we're seeing him do this now, is he's opening up chests in Swamp. If he finds the big key, then he's in a slightly awkward situation because the he has no way of getting to the big chest right now. Um, whoa, whoa,
Glove,
okay,
though.
huh,
So,
interesting.
so while we're all excited about that, Zakat takes down Moth for his second crystal.
Nice, nice. Huh. So Flipheal gets his glove from Swamp. It was. I was saying it was an interesting play because if he had gotten the big key, then he would have no way of swimming to the big chest currently. So
Right,
if
right.
there was like, if his go mode was in the Swamp big chest, then it would have been very, very difficult for him to get back to it. But for taking that very minor risk, he got a huge reward with that glove.
I imagine if Flipheal ends up in go mode, he's gonna he may never know where that other glove is.
Well, he's gonna he's probably gonna find it eventually, because he does have to clear GT. So
Right, right.
if he is in go mode with uh, with silvers, then we might see him skip it. But it would be a little surprising to see him reach go mode before doing GT because there's just so much density in GT.
Yeah, that is a good point, and it looks like he's heading there now. Although I could, oh well, we're gonna get our money off of Ether first.
Yep. Meanwhile, Zakat finishing up clearing out the front of Skullwoods. If Flipheal's able to go mode Skullwoods, he'll save a nice little chunk of time there. Just the mirror shield on Bumper
Man,
Ledge.
we don't want that. You sure? Oop, here's something new. Spike Cave.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see Flipheal using all his magic up front like that. I wonder if he's... Oh, he's just going to use a green potion. Okay. Yeah, that's a nice little time save.
Oh hey, Samaria. In
Was it...
C-shaped house.
Oh my gosh. This is a pretty late Village of Outcasts clear in this mode. But maybe it was the Pendant Thieves that was kind of keeping both of them away from here.
That's very possible. Very possible. This looks like the GT play for Flipheal.
Yep. Flipheal getting into GT, and with many more safeties than were available to Zakat at the time, Flipheal will almost certainly clear the top of GT here. But because Flipheal came here before going to Pyramid for the Fire Rod and Village of Outcasts for that cane, both of them will have isolated the right side of GT.
So, if I may ask, because I'm curious, how necessary is the mirror to the seed?
Not at all.
Great. So I think with Zakat picking up the flippers, I think we're in no mode.
Let's see. Where was the... Well, first off, I think... Let's see. Yeah, I think you're correct. So where was the Ice Rod is my question.
Ice Rod was in Hype Cave.
Wow, okay. That puts Zakat in a pretty fortunate position here. Because that Fire Rod on... Well, actually no, Flipheal will clear GT here and certainly check Pyramid Ledge after clearing
Yeah,
GT to get
absolutely.
that Fire Rod. And then that sends him to Skull Woods, which sends him to Village of Outcasts. which, yeah. So kind of all the dominoes are lining up. Wow, for both of our runners here, actually.
Yep, exactly.
This is a pretty fortunate seed overall. Kind of all the progression was on very kind of very natural routes. No kind of terrible pendant dips required.
Yeah, nothing terrible. I mean, we did have to dip into thieves for those flippers, but they were pretty early on, so it's not terrible, I suppose.
Yeah, that's very fortunate. So Zakat here looks like he's heading over to Hype Cave.
Nope, I believe
Nope.
he's going into Mire.
I wonder if we'll see him. Yeah, we probably see him full clear Mire here, and then also full clear Swamp.
Yeah, he has the equipment to do both dungeons.
Yeah.
And then I could, and then more than likely go straight from Swamp to. Oh, yeah, he does still have to. He still has to open Swamp, but you can do that by flooding or draining the dam, and then saving and quitting, and then just clipping in from Hera, right?
Yes, yeah, you aren't required to have the mirror to open up Swamp in this mode, but it is faster to open it up if you do have the mirror. All right, and welcome to our raiders from SpeedGaming. A quick introduction to what you're seeing here. This is the Hybrid Major Glitches tournament round 1 bracket match. The first of a best of 3 matchup between Flipheal and vZakat. Hybrid Major Glitches is a mode very similar to overworld glitches, except with clips between dungeons in the underworld, both allowed and potentially required by logic. So if you keep a close eye on vZakat's stream here, he will probably, once he finishes full clearing Mire here, you'll probably be heading right back in to do just that. So I wonder who is in the lead in this situation.
It's hard to say. Honestly, it depends upon, I think, how soon Zakat gets over to Hype Cave to get his ice rod.
Yeah, I think. Let's see. Oh, this is kind of fortunate for Zakat. So Zakat probably opens up the front door of Swamp, and because he's in Dark World state, he'll be able to just walk from there to Hype Cave.
Right,
That,
exactly.
that would be a pretty good route, and that would put him in go mode. So he'll, if he does take that route, he'll be able to skip left side Swamp. So his Swamp clear will be pretty efficient. Flipheal, after clearing GT, probably gets the Fire Rod on Pyramid Ledge.
Imagine the fire will probably send him over to Skull Woods.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see him. Well, let's see. He'll have the mitts, so it's not quite. Oh yeah, he'll have the mitts, so we probably won't be seeing the hookshot clip escape from Hammerpeg area. A nice double spin to finish off Lambo 2. Oh, right, and Flipheal doesn't have the cane from Village of Outcasts yet, so
Right.
has to do these very annoying rooms. Little surprised to see him not use Ether. I think he has plenty of magic, but I guess this is faster if you can pull it off. Oh yeah, that was nicely done.
He definitely pulled it off very well.
Yeah, yeah. All right, and Zakat picking up the big key there. I guess probably going to the big chest, hoping for another small key. Not sure what's going on for Zakat right there.
He didn't reset the room. He just went because he's on a super tile. The bridge didn't respawn because he didn't leave.
Yeah. Getting the big key there is always really awkward. But I'm curious what Zakat's still hunting in this dungeon, because got both items and small keys and a and the big key.
He
So
hasn't done cutscene. So I guess he was just looking for the other item and not worrying about cutscene. But in this mode, I don't see why you would do that.
Okay, I thought I saw him do cutscene. I might have been mistaken.
Oh, maybe he did and I'm blind. That's a good possibility.
All right, Jet's agreeing with me.
Well, thank you for correcting me.
So here, Flipheal gets his mitts.
And he'll go on to fight Aga 2.
Yeah, so for... Ooh, just barely despawned the block there, but there we saw from Zakat a setup for an attempt at Fluteless Spooky. This is a glitch that you rarely see in... Oh, just barely missed it. So what he was attempting there was a glitch similar to Spooky Action, but with a... because he didn't use Flute and Mitts to get here, he had to use a different setup, which sets a different altitude value and requires a, in my opinion, much more difficult execution in that Spooky 2 room. And Zakat was just a little bit off in the timing, so didn't quite get it there. Fluteless Spooky is very handy in glitch modes and cross keys, but it can be frustrating. All right, looks like might be having momentary stream issues on Flipheal's side here. Hopefully we'll get this back soon enough. There it is. Oh, a little
He's
bit
picking
of
up his fire rod and is very excited about it.
Yeah, so I don't think we saw that on the stream, but we know because Zakat did it earlier. That was Flipheal picking up his fire rod.
Ooh, and we're just going right over to the village of outcasts.
Yep, just taking a nice little over glitches swim and clipping into the water, and then taking a transition that leaves us kind of stuck in the wall and clipping out. So what I'll be interested in here is, does Flipheal dip Pendant Thieves before heading up into Skull? If he does, he'll save a full Skull clear and make up a lot of time. But that's I wouldn't be very surprised to see him not do that. It'll be interesting.
For sure. So for a second there, I thought he was going down to do Swift Chain.
Oh,
he can do that now. He has both gloves.
Yeah, picking up Smith without mirror here would be strange, because he's certainly intending on clearing a dungeon before saving and quitting, and clearing a dungeon would despawn the Smith.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so here Flipheal gets his goes over to get his cane from C-shaped house, and then is faced with an important decision to either full clear Skull and then hopefully make it back down to Thieves, or to clear Thieves first, or to dip Thieves first, pick up his go mode, and then get to go mode Skull.
But we're going to Skull.
Yeah, this is a little scary for for Flipheal here, because let's see, he's in Flipper's go mode. Once he clears Skull, it's a bit of a hike to get from Skull back to Pendant Thieves, and he'll have He has logical access to Ice Palace. Fake flippers can be in logic. So he has a full clearable ice and a full clearable TR. Which, ooh man, if those lure him away from Pendant Thieves, that could be a pretty big time loss.
That could be very unfortunate, especially because he's so close
I know,
to
I
those
know,
flippers.
it's right there. Oh, chat's pointing out he didn't clear Meyer earlier, so
Right, he didn't have the cane.
yeah, it's pretty natural for him to run down to Meyer in this situation, and if he does, Thieves is kind of on the way. Kind of. It's a bit of a scary situation. But on Zakat's side, we saw a little bit of difficulty with the dash citrus clip from Hera to Swamp, but pulled it off eventually, and is now well. This trip into Swamp is just to open up the front door because we know there isn't a small key in the first chest, so this is required.
He picked up the key there from under the pot.
Yeah, that's interesting. That might have just been muscle memory. Additional Meyer small keys aren't particularly useful in this situation. All right, this is really good.
We're going to Ice Rod Cave. No, the Ice Rod is here, but
Yep,
we're going to Hype Cave.
it's the cave with Ice Rod. All right, so Zakat picks up his go mode here. He is Desert, Ice, and TR behind. I mean, not behind. He has Desert, Ice, and Go mode, Desert, Swamp, Ice, and TR left. The only crystal advantage that Flipheal has is Desert. So this is it's looking like Zakat has a bit of a lead here. Wait, where's Zakat going?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Oh, finishing off Desert, right? Okay, this makes sense.
Okay. No, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I guess there's no item here, but I wonder if he checks checkerboard on the way, hoping for silvers.
Oh, he could.
Yeah, not too surprising to see him.
We're not going to, but he could
not do it. Yeah. Wow, so Zakat's gonna be in go mode in Swamp. I wouldn't be too surprised to see him walk right past those mitts, which would be kind of unfortunate, because it'll make accessing Ice Palace take quite a bit more time. The flipper wrap that is the method of Ice Palace access that we'll probably see from Zakat is quite a bit slower than just fake flippering there.
Yeah, I mean, it is a quick check. If he's interested in silvers, we might see it, but I don't know. Time will tell on this one.
Yeah, let's think about the order that Zakat is probably going to be clearing dungeons here. So he's finishing off Desert now. It's not really efficient to walk from Desert to anywhere. He probably does the save and quit. Maybe clears TR before heading back to Swamp and Ice, just because picking up the mirror. Actually, picking up the mirror would make finishing off Swamp and Ice quite a bit more convenient. Was that a save and quit from Flipheal after finishing off Skull?
Yes, it was.
Ooh, okay.
So it looks like we're going to Ice Palace.
Yeah, that's a little bit scary on Flipheal's side. Oh, seeing a nice flash delete. Might need to... I'm not sure if he just didn't use enough... Oh, no, he got it the second try. Okay. I was wondering if his what's it called? Splash Delete Fake Flippers can get into a state where it doesn't work anymore, and you have to do some different technique to correct it.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
was wondering if that's what was happening there. But so Flipheal does have the option in this mode to do a bomb clip or a it looks like that's what he's doing. Nice. So he stole that key just to make routing the rest of Ice Palace a little bit more natural. But yeah, set up the bomb on the wrong pixel there, getting it right the second time.
We're through.
And Ancilla search index. Yes, there we go.
Okay, and Zakat is doing that thing we were talking about, where he's going to go. So he flooded the dam, so it's drained, and we're gonna clip from Hera right into Swamp House again, that dungeon. And when we're there, it's still gonna be flooded.
Yep, that is, and that can be logically required as your as the logically required method of clearing swamp in this mode. It's pretty fun. In this mode, both your hammer and your mirror can be buried in the back of Swamp Palace, which is always fun. I think we saw that in one of the qualifiers actually.
I believe so. I don't entirely remember. I do know that we did have a hammer in this first chest here in Swamp Palace the other day.
Oh yeah.
In one of our in one of the bracket matches actually.
Yep, that's always fun. And there we saw Zakat leaving Swamp and re-entering. That was in order to change his dungeon ID from Hera to Swamp, so we could. And there's his mitts. That's fortunate. But yeah,
we might just see a fake flipper into icing him.
Yeah, certainly. And that was Zakat correcting his dungeon ID, because if he had just gone straight for the boss there, then he would have gotten the Hera pendant instead of the Swamp Crystal as the boss prize, and would have needed to head back in and go to the boss room again in order to pick up the Swamp Crystal. Yeah, so far in this race, the kind of one major decision that caused the biggest swing by far was Flipheal making the perfectly reasonable decision to save and quit after clearing Skull instead of dipping Thieves. Which, yep, made sense at the time, but with our benefit of hindsight, or with our benefit of knowing where those flippers are, we can appreciate just how unfortunate that turned out to be.
Exactly. Ice Palace turning up pretty much empty at this point, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think if Flipheal had gotten the silvers here, or silvers in a chest that would be inconvenient for Zakat to just grab along the way, like, I don't know, in Ice Tea Room or something, then that could have made up a little bit of time for Flipheal, but we didn't see that.
So I definitely miss Zakat getting his fourth sword.
Ooh, I did too. I'm not sure.
I'm assuming it's here in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, probably in one of those convenient chests that he was checking on the way to the boss, hoping for silvers. Oh, chat's telling us it was the diver down chest. Okay.
That sounds about right. Yep.
Yeah, one of those two flooded chests.
A small high five here. Flipheal leaving ice. Zakat goes in.
Yep, and Zakat will get to we'll get to do one of my favorite things, which is a full go mode Ice Palace in HMG. You get to skip so much. You get to just go right there and and you get to skip Pengator Room, and then you do Icebreaker, and you get to skip Ice Tea, and it's just it's such an efficient clear. Basically zero, yeah, it's zero backtracking with this clear, so it's even more efficient than the normal non-glitched Go Mode Ice Palace. It's very nice.
Zero backtracking in the vanilla dungeon that wants you to backtrack a whole bunch. It's glorious.
Yep. Oh yeah, chat pointing out something that was interesting from Zakat there. So because Zakat entered Swamp from Hera, once he left Swamp, he was in a fake Dark World state, and because he doesn't have the mirror, he had no way of correcting that. So when after he finished clearing Swamp, after he walked off of that screen, he was moved from the fake Dark World to the real Light World, which worked out perfectly because that's exactly where he wanted to be, to immediately fake flipper into ice. So that was, really, really efficient usage of fake worlds. Always nice when it works out that way.
I'll be honest. I forget fake worlds are a thing. So I'm glad that you and chat caught that.
Yeah, it's always nice when you can use fake worlds to your advantage like that, instead of what usually happens, which is you forget about which world state you were in, and then you finish Swamp and you walk off the screen and have a moment of, wait a minute, what world am I in? What's going on? Save and quit, time loss. So always nice when it works out the other way.
A super clean cold stare fight for Zakat there.
Yep. A full Go Mode Ice Palace, very, very fast and nicely executed from Zakat.
All we have left is TR and fight Ganon.
Yep. This route has worked out very efficiently for Zakat, and it almost worked out very efficiently for Flipheal as well, except for the front of Pendant Thieves. Yeah, going into Pendant Thieves without the hammer is, going into Pendant Thieves without the mirror is, it's always a difficult decision.
I mean, even this Turtle Rock route without the mirror seems a little rough. Because I imagine they're probably. I'm curious as to where Flipheal's going to go next, because I could see going back out the front. Can you go back out the front if you don't open it? Or no?
I forget who we saw open the front. I think it was
So do
Flipheal.
I think so too.
So yeah, it looks like this is a Death Warp. I forget how Flipheal got in here. Did he go in the middle, or did he do what we're about to see?
He went in the
Zakat?
middle.
Okay. In that case, this makes sense because he can get the big chest and then just take the NMG route to the back. But Zakat, because of this very flashy series of glitches there, I always love to see that. That's one of my favorite. It's way easier than it looks, but it looks really cool and it's so much fun. That is the mirrorless version of the way to get into Laser Bridge. So because of that, Zakat will have a very, very efficient route through TR overall. Taking a couple hits on these laser skips. But, oh no, Flipheal landed in jail. Well, he has the boots, so he does have the option of kind of kicking the Samaria block up there. I'll be honest, I don't remember the sequence of inputs to actually line it up so this kick works.
So I think I've only seen this happen once, so I'm in the same boat as you.
Oh
That
no!
was close.
Yeah, he got it, but just missed the. There it is. There it is. Wow, that's obviously unfortunate to see the slight time loss there, but it's fun to see techniques that you rarely see, and man, I can't remember the last time I saw that.
Same.
All right, so Zakat here gets to do kind of the route that we're always hoping for when we're in TRCO mode, which is clearing back to front until you find the big key. You're always hoping it's there, because then you're done. Although I guess without mirror, it's you don't have an easy way to death warp. But yeah, clearing from back to front and then death warping and then finishing off the boss. Just a very, very efficient way of clearing TR.
Comp's kind of cooperating. That's always nice.
Yep. Zakat taking it very carefully. I'm not sure if he has any fairies left, so judging by how careful he's being, I would assume that he doesn't have any fairies. So just taking it nice and easy. All right, from Flipheal's perspective, he probably finishes Myra after this. That would make sense.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, does he? We got both items.
Oh, yeah,
there's the mirror.
Oh no, that's well, yeah. So we probably see him go to Mimic Cave. It's not. Oh, the unfortunate thing is that kind of draws him away from where we know his go mode is, because he probably does. Oh, right. Because he took a death in TR, dying in a Dark World dungeon in glitch modes puts you in that fake world state I was mentioning earlier. So he had to mirror once in order to fix it, because otherwise he would have ended up on Light World Death Mountain after taking that screen transition. That is very easy to forget. So,
just talking about that fake Dark World nonsense, weren't we?
Yep. More examples of the fake world state. So unfortunately, getting that mirror might be driving Flipheal to check Pyramid Fairy. But after that, thinking about what he has left in the world, he does have right side GT. That's a little gross. I think Thieves is probably.
How about visiting our uncle?
Oh, it's interesting that he just got the mirror, and now he's checking Uncle this way instead of linking it up with Pyramid Fairy. That's interesting. And Zakat getting his 7th crystal, and I believe he's already killed Agate 2. Yes, he has. So, yeah, we probably see him save and quit and head to Ganon. Alright, so Flipheal in this situation, I don't think there's much good density available to him other than Thieves once he finishes this. The only other thing that kind of comes to mind is the right side of GT.
Yeah, because that's 5 items compared to, I guess Thieves is technically 5 too. because of the green pendant turn-in. But
yeah, and because of that, it would be a little surprising to see him go pendant Eastern before Thieves, because 3 items instead of 5, and Thieves first allows linking up Saha to pendant Eastern. So that's my guess of what we'll probably be seeing from Flipheal after this. Oh no, did I miss an attempt at a glitch on Zakat's side?
You did. He might try it again, though. Because it's also a super neat one that I just recently learned about, and I want to see it again.
Well, it's a very... I don't even know if it's... Nope, he's doing it. Okay. There it is. Yeah, I forget if that's a time save in this situation. It's very, very minor either way, but it's very fun to see. That's
it is.
Yeah, the technical term for it. You'll often see people use the FAWT or FAWT acronym, which actually does stand for Funny Auto Walk Thing, which is a great name for a glitch in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Alright, so Flipheal here, kind of committing to the Thieves Town skip a little bit longer than I was expecting. Kind of understandable here. He might be thinking at 1 hour 24 into the race, and there were silvers. Okay. Well, Zakat was never going to find those with the route that he chose.
Nope, absolutely not.
But yeah, I wonder if Flipheal in this situation might be thinking, you know, if the answer actually isn't pendant Thieves, then that might not be a path to victory. So choosing the options that are more likely to be a path to victory, that might be what's on his mind. But yeah, we'll have to ask him if we can get him in for an interview once we're done. And a butter silverless from Zakat. Very familiar territory. Flipheal doing a down teleport here to quickly get up onto the ledge with Bombo's tablet. Very nice to not need to mirror to do that check.
Indeed. And down goes the pig.
All right, get GG's in chat for Zakat, who finished in first place in this race. And let's see what his time is and if he crosses the bridge. And his race time.gg time was 1 hour and 26 minutes and 10 seconds. So GG to Zakat, and we'll see if we can get him in here for an interview. But in the meantime, we have Flipheal coming very, very close to where we know his go mode is. It looks like he's trying to make up his mind, like ped check, or I wonder what else is left to him over here.
Not a whole lot. I mean, we've got Smith Chain, I suppose. And you know, this Thieves Town bit, which is the correct option.
Yep. So Flipheal will obviously be a little disappointed to discover that his go mode was here all this time, but considering how many extra things that he did check, that was there's the bomb on the chest, on the go mode chest. Understandable, but yeah, respectable time considering all the extra checks. And we are joined in the booth by our winner of today's race, vZakat. GG, Zakat.
Thank you.
Yeah, nicely done. So First, I'll just tell you right away, it's not often that you can get a single play that kind of has such a huge swing in the race. In this case, it was Flipheal's decision to kind of commit to skipping Thievestown, uh,
Uh,
and that was, as you know, where where the flippers were. And flippers go mode is, oh, that's unfortunate because it led him to full clear, uh, ice and TR and yeah, just a bunch of extra stuff.
yeah. I felt really happy finding those flippers. And the ice rod too. I was really worried about the ice rod.
Yeah,
I'm sure ice rod hunts are never fun in any mode.
yeah, I love to see uh, your usage of the overworld transitions both times coming out of swamp because you went from mire to swamp first, which put you in real dark world state, so you were able to link that up with hype cave easily. And then on your return trip, you went from Hera to Swamp, which left you in fake Dark World state, which allowed you to link that up easily with Ice Palace. That was really cool to see.
Yeah, that was really lucky. And the only reason I could go to ice was because I found the mitts. Like at that point, I was in go mode, and I was kind of like, I don't want to do the flippers wrap into ice. I was just checking some random checks, mostly for silvers, and then that first chest just happened to be mitts, and I was like, oh, nice.
Yep. And we are joined in the booth by Flipheal, who has forfeited. GG Flipheal, sorry about that flippers location. That was rough.
Yeah, GG's. It was just so pretty much. I don't know my route. I was like, I kind of wanted to skip village, so I went, the wrap south, and then I don't know when I found Fire Rod, and then Samaria. I forget if there were two items in village or if it was Fire Rod then Samaria. I was just kind of like, if there's something in Thieves, I'd probably lose anyway at that point, and yeah, just when I came back, yep. What you gonna do?
Yeah, that's what we were kind of suspecting. We were discussing earlier that once you had committed that much to skipping Thieves Town, we were wondering if the thought process kind of became, if the answer is in Thieves Town, then I've lost already. So I'm gonna choose the paths that could lead to victory, which in retrospect wasn't incorrect. So yeah, it's always interesting to see the thought process that goes into decisions like that. Yeah, we were saying kind of at every turn, the routing totally made sense. It was just sometimes the route that makes sense is a little unfortunate. But aside from that one, that one unfortunate routing decision, it was very impressive. I think very impressive routing and execution from both of you. So GG to you both. I'm curious to hear your thoughts about, well, especially vZakat, your thoughts about that GT climb. That seemed a little scary, but you seemed confident and pulled it off well.
Oh, I do a lot of different vanilla speed runs, and so the GT climb was very similar to RMG and E%. So it's something I was very comfortable with. And I knew I had a fairy in a bottle, so I wasn't like sweating at all.
You dipped it early? I was kind of thinking about it, but I don't know. I forget. I don't know. I forget what my thought was, but I just decided to put it off for a bit.
Yeah, I did it really early, like 20 minutes in, I think. Because like I had hammer, I had hookshot, I had bow. So I thought, oh, if big key's left side, I can just full clear it now, aside from right side. So that was my first Dark World thing I did. I did hookshot cave and stuff straight in the GT.
Yeah, it was interesting. Kind of once you both had wrapped up the light world checks, which as usual, you both kind of did the same checks, but in a totally different order. But the order didn't end up mattering that much. Then once you actually made it to Dark World, which you did, maybe a minute apart, and I don't remember even who was ahead at that point. Flipheal, you decided to go into a full clearable crystal pod, and Zakat, you decided to go into a slightly low percent GT. So it was interesting to see, both of those very, very high density, low orphan potential decisions. So it was cool to see that divergence. And then neither of them really had much. I think Pod was empty and GT had a glove.
Odd looked pretty good at first. It had ether. I think it had powder too, which I don't think I ever even got to check. And maybe one other thing, maybe the shovel. So it was like, it looked like it was decent, but then yeah, it ended up being junk.
Yeah, I don't remember anything in GT. Maybe the shovel or something, but yeah, I never checked that either.
And then Flipheal, I'm curious about your routing choice for clearing TR right at the end. Was there a reason you chose the to enter from the bridge, or instead of the, I guess, the mirrorless laser bridge entry?
I don't know. I actually like the mirrorless. I used to always do that at first, but then it just seems like the big key's always in the front. So it's like, I gotta go through the front anyway. I don't honestly know how to route Turtle Rock in these.
Yeah, it does leave that big chest in such an awkward position.
Yeah, Turtle Rock's just a mess. And I was a little salty that it was in the front.
Oh,
The
yeah.
big key.
Yeah, well, GG to you both. It was, if it wasn't for that flipper hunt at the end, which obviously ate a whole bunch of time, it was looking very, very close right up until that point. So I'm very excited to see game 2 between you two. I think this was a good matchup, and yeah, a good show.
Yeah, GG's. I want to say thanks for the comms and restream, and yeah, I'm just glad slowly getting a little better at these. So as long as it was a good showing until the end, I can't really complain. And yeah, looking forward to game 2.
Yeah, same for me. Thanks everyone for this restreams and everything. And GG Flipheal. See you in game 2.
See you there.
All right, and Trey, any last thoughts before we wrap up here?
No. If you guys haven't had a chance, go follow these runners. They put on a great show today, and definitely, I'm sure, would appreciate your support. But yeah, thanks everyone. This was fun. I love watching these and learning more about all the glitches that I one day will also be able to perform, maybe. But yeah, it was a good show. Thanks a lot.
Yep, thanks again to my co-commentator, Trey Spire, or Tracker Scupula, both of our runners, vZakat and Flipheal. We have a bunch more races in this Hybrid Major Glitches tournament coming up in under an hour on SpeedGaming 2. We have the second match between Zeke Highwind and Don Venier. So I'm very excited to see how that will go. And yeah, I've been Krelbo. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you all next time. Bye.